Thank you. He's complaining about his but the truth of the matter is militancy in the opposition, the party in opposition. Mr. Ologbondiyan joins us now. We're talking about why the ADC wasn't as well represented as we had thought they were going to be. He's a chieftain of that political party, that's the African Democratic Congress. Thank you so much for joining us on Sunrise.
Good morning, Mark. A great Akokite.
Yes, great.
You're
great.
Good morning, Killer.
Good morning, great Abusite.
And good morning to the
Indeed. But a serious matter is at hand. Peace is what we're discussing this morning, and we've had very critical questions of, you know, what exactly needs to happen for us to continue to maintain peace. Those who say, I mean, we just spoke with Mr. Shore now and asked him very pointed questions as to, you know, whether if peace comes at the expense of justice, and he's not very keen on that. You know, for you, given, I mean, you have lived in this country for many years, you've been a journalist before, you know what needs to happen or what happens when peace is not respected. And in many instances, we have a very long history. We have fought a civil war in this country, and we know that we do not want to go down that route again. So for you, what do you think needs to happen for all political parties to stay on the path of peace, for us to be able to hold your feet and hold the feet of your contemporaries, your principles to the notion or to the tenet of peace as we go into the 2027 elections?
Okay, thank you very much, Mark. I do not think that the ADC, the African Democratic Congress, has an issue about working for a peaceful conduct in the elections. I don't think that is a problem in the ADC at all. And I do not believe that ADC is a violent party. ADC is a very, very, very peaceful party. And you can see, I don't think that the name of ADC has been mentioned in violence in the last two elections that we have held in Nigeria, in Ekiti and in Osun. But having established that, I think that those who claim that all is fair in politics ought to have been reprimanded by those in charge of the Peace Accord. The Peace Accord Committee ought to have come out and say this is not normal, because it borders on winning election at all costs. Because it borders that if I go to a polling unit and I get shot, it's normal. So I think that those who are working on the Peace Accord should not just do ceremonies alone. They should not just put a particular day and say everybody come and sign Peace Accord. That will not even be honored by those who are abiding by all is fair in politics. So I think these are the issues. I do not think that, we should just sit down and say, we put today, maybe 19th of August or 20th of August, and we're saying that, this is the day that was signed Peace Accord. What happened thereafter? What happened in the course of the election? So and it's not to be a ceremony where we'll be saying that, this is the law. If you do this one, that is not how to achieve.
So was the absence of your candidate a protest of sorts?
To be honest with you, I think the party was fully represented. The national legal advisor of the party, Professor Osereme Osumbo, was there to represent the party. And since the party was represented, I think that has taken charge. But it goes beyond that. I might not agree, I might not say it's a protest, but I've not spoken to the candidate of the party, so I might not know the state of his mind. But I looked out for the party. I think that what they were doing yesterday was just a ceremony that they normally do, a ritual, a routine that they normally do.
So you don't attach any importance, because there's a way, you don't attach any importance to that ritual, to that ceremony.
If the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander-in-Chief declare that all is fair in politics, we suggest winning election at all costs. If his representative, the SGF, Senator George Akume, was caught taking a nap in the process of a peace accord, so where is the seriousness in it?
You can't prove that he was taking a nap.
So I just saw
his eyes were closed, doesn't mean he was taking a nap. He could have been thinking, could have been reflecting. There's so much that could be happening.
Okay. If he wasn't sleeping, but at least you accept with me that his eyes were closed And you said he was meditating.
We saw his head bow.
Yes. That been prayer.
Not examining his eyes. That's right.
So it shows how serious. It shows how serious.
All right.
The people in government has taken even the peace accord.
Let me come to your party.
Okay.
Yesterday we saw stories about the ADC yesterday. In fact, it feels that there's some kind of conflict going on between your party and the NDC. Someone who works for your presidential candidate came out yesterday on social media to say that Peter Obi is sending people to tell Atiku to collapse his structure into the NDC. Is there any truth to this?
I'm honestly unaware.
Killer. You cannot say you're unaware of this color.
Killer. If I'm aware, we have engaged a lot of times. If I'm aware, I will say it clearly that I've heard it. Well, I will not go into any issue that I don't have the nucleus
telling
of
Atiku to step
information.
down in the party.
Why would anybody tell Atiku to step down?
Because we're seeing that in the report. Actually, this came out yesterday. When there are people
why would anybody
in the ADC telling Atiku to step down that he cannot win the election?
No, that's not correct. That can never be correct. That can't ever be correct.
So that spokesperson of Atiku that said Peter Obi was sending people to tell Atiku to step down, that person was lying?
I don't know. I don't even know who said it. What is the name
of the person?
I'll bet you his name.
I
don't even know. Like I said, I'm not heard of it. I'm not aware. You understand? But if it's something I'm aware of, I will come here and discuss it and give you the reasons behind it. But you see, in politics, there will be all kind of rumor. There will be all kind of suggestions. There will be all kind of makeups. You understand? So if Peter Obi wants Atiku to step down for him, he will come into the public space and say that I want Atiku to step down for me. But where would that even come from? Because the party has held its congresses, the party has held its convention, the party has nominated a candidate, the party has passed through every Rubicon required by INEC. So at what point?
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about that piece of code. I'm trying to get that person's name. Let me get you his name.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit more about that piece of code. You know, the showing of the ADC in Austrian election, many people have said it's a pointer to the fact that your party really doesn't have the kind of clout it says it does. You're not going to have the kind of showing that you're telling people that you're going to have in 2027, which is probably why you didn't even take part in deciding. Well, you sent someone. You sent a representative of the national chairman of the party. But they say this points to the fact that the ADC has already understood that it cannot make the showing that it wants to make in 2027.
Who's showing?
Yes, the amount of influence that you claim that you have as a party, you're not going to be able to deliver.
Why?
In 2027
Who gave me the reason?
They said the numbers that you didn't make up to 20,000.
The numbers in Osun. Well, let me give you the facts as I know them. The election in Osun was a reflection of the wishes of Nigerians. And the expectations in the APC was that ADC will go and break the votes of Adeleke. And when they break the votes of Adeleke, they will come and win the election. But for many Nigerians, and I think Governor Adeleke attested to this, irrespective of parties, irrespective of religion, irrespective of language, rallied around and said, look, we must not allow the APC to yank off Adeleke. And they rallied to that. This doesn't mean that there are agreements within parties. It doesn't. And anybody who is talking the way you are talking now, Maokbe,
this is Kayla.
Sorry, Kayla. Anybody who's coming out this way, shows that he does not even understand politics. In the last presidential election, the 2022-2023 presidential election, Atiku defeated Bola Ahmed Tinubu as he was then known. So where is this impression coming from? That because of the showing in Osun, it means that we do not have relevance. They should wait for the presidential election. And Atiku, if you recall, last week the week before last, declared that he had mounted the rostrum thrice in Osun State, and on each of the occasion, Osun people had voted for him, and he showed appreciation for that. So let us leave this governorship matter and let us project into what will happen in the presidential race.
All right, so let's talk. Let's look at that presidential race.
Presidential race. I think there are huge questions as to what the ADC will be offering
to the Nigerian people.
Because essentially that is what we're going to be doing now. You know, this campaign to keep things issues based also is within the jurisdiction of the media. what would you say is the greatest strength, the greatest selling point that the ADC will be offering to Nigerians?
Oh, that's a very good question, and I receive it with all pleasure, Malcolm. First and foremost, I'll give you a tip of the iceberg. I won't go into the details, but I'll give you the tip. It is in the desire of ADC to put Nigerians first in its policies. That's one.
Nigerians first?
Yes, in its policies. To put Nigerians first in every of its policy direction. That's the basic thing that the ADC had agreed on. So it's the people's first. And having said that, in every policy, maybe on agriculture, maybe on the economy, in whatever policy, even the energy.
When you say people first,
yes.
What does that mean?
What it then means is that, as you can see, particularly since 2015, that things changed in the country because they asked for a change without asking for the direction of that change. Nobody cared about the Nigerian, that ordinary Nigerian.
Don't forget that your candidate was a part of that change.
You see, in life, and I think this applies to everybody. Mm-hmm. We take some decisions at some point and discover that, we shouldn't have gone in this direction. And God has given us the space and the time to review our actions and do a reverse where we need to do a reverse. So, for us in the ADC, we are putting Nigerians first in every policy. This is the tip of the iceberg. Whether in agriculture, because if you put Nigerians first, for instance, as a president, you will not go and install solar system in the presidential villa to service you 24 hours, whereas the people you are presiding over have no lights. It starts from there.
So are you saying that should you be elected, you would remove that solar system?
No. We will not remove the solar system, but we will work assiduously in ensuring that Nigerians have light. Whatever it requires to achieve that. We've been talking about power for how many years in this country? Successive governments have failed. So you now want to ask me about the how, and that's why I said I'll just give you a tip of the iceberg now, and that when the time comes, when we enter into the campaign properly, I will come up with the how.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to that how, because it's very important. But some people will say maybe what the ruling party was doing by signaling that off-grid is telling Nigerians that maybe this is the way for us to go.
Can the average Nigerian afford it?
That will be the question we'll be asking them. That's what they say.
Afford it? Okay, let's even leave that one now. Let us go to the issue of subsidy. We were thinking government that has the feeling, that understands the feeling of the ordinary people, do an absolute removal of the subsidy and brought us to our knees, everybody, the entire country.
But your candidate said he was going to remove subsidy.
He
said he was going to remove subsidy as well.
Let me make the point. Now, fine for this. I like this question because I just argued it with the PA of Sowore. And I told him clearly, go and watch Atiku video. Atiku said that under President Olusegun Obasanjo, they devised 4 ways for removal of subsidies. So they wanted to face it. In phases. And he said that they did 2, but subsequent governments didn't follow that pattern. And as you know, in the history of this country, one administration is doing one thing. When it leaves, the coming one will start a new thing. That one leaves, and that one starts a new thing. And at the end of the day, we are nowhere. We are nowhere. So, Atiku said he will remove subsidy in phases, not an absolute removal. Because what has brought us to this knees now is the absolute removal. And I remember that it was you and I on this same platform then, when I said that decision was wrong, and that I should have done a phase removal.
Mr. Ologbondiyan, you said this is a tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
We'll have time. It's 150 days. There's plenty of time to go into the issues. We have to thank you for
Thank you
coming
very
on
much,
Sunrise
Margaret.
this morning. Mr. Kola
you.
Ologbondiyan is the chieftain of the African Democratic Congress. In his previous life, he used to be a journalist. So we have to thank you for speaking with us.
I'll see one of you, not my previous time. Okay, don't chase me out.
I
are still together.
was going to take you up for the coalition, but there's no time.
We
We'll
are
come back.
joined with
Wednesday
the on
time.
the
We'll come
program
back.
this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Malpe Ogun Yusuf.
I'm Kayla Mega. Business Morning is at the top of the hour.